I mean, look, it's not pretty. It's not pretty. The Saints did not look great tonight, but they did enough. They did enough to win. And we do not talk a lot of NFL on this platform. Maybe that should change. I say that, and we talk LSU the whole day, the whole damn time. Nevertheless, when you start off your season 2-0, ask Sean Payton if he would rather be 2-0 right now instead of 0-2. Sam Howell and the Commanders went out there and beat that ass on Sunday. So, good win. We're going to talk about it. It's the Saints postgame. Look, man, if there's somebody that does more postgames than us, you're going to have to tell me because we do them during baseball season. We do them from LSU. We do them here. So we'll talk a little Saints, but we're going to push that back just a little bit because, I got to talk about LSU. We're going to recap some Mississippi State and preview Arkansas. As I mentioned, we'll talk Saints. Brian Kelly meets with the media. Greg Brooks looks to be out for a little bit. We'll talk on everything that Brian Kelly mentioned, and we'll do around college football in week 3. So, looking forward to it. Yeah, Commanders. What did I say? You guys, it's 9:27 tonight. You got to cut some brother some slack. Tyler Townsend, what's up, buddy? Says, let's go. Wasn't a pretty win, but a win is a win. I agree. So does say Dontrell Thompson by saying that the Saints win. They do. I mean, look, I'm not a fan of Pete Carmichael. I've done videos. I've done bits on this, and I'm not. But Derek Carr had a really bad half, right? Like Derek Carr had a really, really bad first half. And prayers, speaking of first halves, prayer to Nick Chubb, man. Prayers to Nick Chubb. Like that's not, you don't want to see that, man. Like, and then Adam Schefter going out there and reporting what he reported. I love the broadcast tonight, by the way. I know a lot of people don't like Chris Fowler talking NFL. I think Chris Fowler can call anything. If you really listen to Dan Orlovsky and Louis Riddick, it was football gold. Like, bro, they were spitting. Pause. But it was as good of a broadcast call as I can remember. It was a pretty good one. But we got a lot to touch on. Jayden Daniels, maybe I was going to tweet this, but didn't want to piss people off. Maybe they need Jayden Daniels, the Saints. You know what I mean? And I was wondering how many people that would piss off. Guys, Jayden Daniels is one of the best playing like one of the best quarterbacks in the country. I'm going to do a QB1 blind review. I probably should have gotten Zach to make me an edit on this. But he's outdoing the Heisman Trophy winner. So say what you want about dude, but he's playing exceptional. We'll talk about that tonight too. I listened to a lot of Arkansas radio this morning. My buddy Ty Simpson, he'll be on with us tomorrow. Listen to a lot of Arkansas radio, man, today. And they are as deflated as you would expect them to be. Sam Pittman's press conference today, he was deflated. I almost did a section on this. I might do it tomorrow. Like, he sounded like, oh, woe is me. Like, he sounded like the Arkansas Eeyore with titties. He did not sound good. So we'll preview a lot of that. Chris Olave, yes, I see the comments. Chris Olave went cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. It was his breakout game. And look, man, you know what I kept thinking the whole time? Like, especially with Garrett Wilson last week when he had that ridiculous fade catch in the end zone. I know that there's probably not a better 1-2 punch in the NFL from a receiving core than Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson, but Chris Olave and Garrett Wilson are coming. Pause. They looked really good. They look really good. SLU Lions 07 with a $10 super chat. Thank you so much for the super chat. He says, Olave is that dude. SEC is wide open. Go Tigers. I love that. That's a good one. So thank you, SLU Lions. Line up. My alma mater showing out tonight. Oh, we got a bot. We got a bot in the chat, Zach. They're all over us. They're like 2020 COVID. They're all over the place. Oh, God, that was funny. That was funny. And if you haven't done so, producer Zach has a podcast, the Tigers Avenue podcast. Y'all need to go over there, man. They're good. Him and his brother are really good. So y'all need to go listen to I was listening to him today on one of their previous episodes, but I was listening to him today. Some good stuff from the boys. All right. Let's get rolling. Everybody do us a favor by hitting the like and share to all of those social media groups. Man, you guys on Facebook, man, we're coming up on a million like views on the year all on Facebook. Like it's ridiculous. You guys are killing it for us so far here this year on Facebook. Do us a favor by hitting the like and share to all those groups, to all the social media pages. Wherever you listen on YouTube, we're so close to 6,000. I'm thinking about doing a giveaway. If you've been here long enough, you know, man, we've done giveaways $300, $400. I'm thinking about doing it. So you might want to subscribe. Is all I'm saying. I'm feeling lucky, and you best hope LSU doesn't win on Saturday, because then I'm really doing it. I put some coin down on LSU today. Some serious coin. So we'll see. All right. Wherever you listen to podcasts, rate, review, and subscribe. And if you're watching us on Fubo TV, welcome. Let's talk about our good friends over at GM Vardo & Sons, our good friends over at betonline.ag. Don't go anywhere. We're back next. We got so much we have to discuss. We do that next. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way for you to wager on all of your favorite sports, contests, events with the first-to-market odds and lines. Find reviews for all the news for each league, including Major League Baseball, NFL, NBA, NHL, combat sports, college sports, esports, and even golf. BetOnline continues to be the top online resource for all of your sports information for live in-game betting, props, and futures. Head on over to BetOnline today and use your mobile device to join and make your first sports bet. Use our promo code BELIEVE50, that's BELIEVE50, BLEAV 50, to receive your 50% off welcome bonus on your first deposit. That's betonline.ag, betonline.ag. With over 65 years of experience, nobody is better equipped to service in your vehicle than GM Vardo & Sons. RV repair, big rig overhauls, motorhome chassis, routine maintenance, tire rotations, tire sales. No job is too big or too small over at GM. If you break down on the side of the road in the greater Baton Rouge area, they will come and get you. And the best thing about that is that they can come and get you, and then they can bring your vehicle back to their shop and start the repairs right then. Again, GM Vardo & Sons, go see them over at 2500 Fuller Boulevard. Give them a call at 225-664-9992, 225-664-9992. Tell them your good friend Blake Ruffino sent you on by. I got to tell you, man, as bad as the Nick Chubb injury was, Jerome Ford, we got the TV in the studio here, just busted off like a 70-yard run. I think he stopped at the 1, though. Looks like he stopped at the 1. So, yeah. It's crazy how football works. You know what's crazy is one of my buddies, he's Mike Bazile, he's a financial advisor, does all of me and my wife's stuff. And he was making a joke this weekend and said something to the effect of that, he was talking about running back depth, and he said, put Taysom back there. And I was kind of clowning him, and they did it tonight. We'll talk about the Saints, though, in just a minute. Michael Morse with a $9.99 super chat. Thank you so much, buddy, for sending us the super chat. He says, need to get Aaron Anderson beyond the line of scrimmage. I agree with that wholeheartedly. To throw him the ball, throwing it to him behind the line of scrimmage has not done anything for him or this team so far. First off, thank you for the super chat, Michael. And he's so right. So we can start off with that. I mean, if there is a negative, I do want to see him actually get the ball when he's running a route. There were 2 plays this weekend. If you're being and listen, tonight probably will sound like a Jayden love fest, but you go back and pop on that film. Dude was amazing, man. Dude was ridiculous. There were some plays, and again, ultra nitpicky. Aaron Anderson was open, but the throws that Jayden didn't get it to him was the one that he had to Logan Diggs, the improvised play where he's throwing it to the right side in the broken play. Logan Diggs catches it, gets some yards, gets upfield. And then there was an out route, but the problem, him missing the deeper out route to Aaron Anderson, Malik Nabers scored. So, I mean, 2 plays, yeah. I mean, what are you going to say about that? One of them, you can't say anything because Malik Nabers scored on it. I do want to see him get Aaron Anderson more involved. And he's one of those guys like Chris Hilton, man. You anticipate the time in a game against a Power 5 that they break out. And especially Chris Hilton, because we've seen him. I mean, he had a long catch against New Mexico last year. He had a long catch against Grambling for a touchdown. He was involved early. He got, I think, 4 targets on the day. You want to see that a little bit more, but to Aaron Anderson too. But listen. Saturday at 11 a.m. was arguably, I kind of want to say, from a Power 5 perspective, like teams like you're actually going to have to really play against, it was probably the best game that LSU played under Brian Kelly from start to finish. A lot of that has to do with the simple nature that your quarterback was as good as he was, and he was. Man, I mean, that was easily Jayden Daniels' best game. And to have that type of performance each and every week is tough. Things are going to happen. But even in Florida State, man, you can anticipate that he's really been working on sitting back in the pocket, getting the receivers involved. And if he throws the ball downfield the way that he is, he's going to, defenses will really have troubles with him. And I do think that that's a problem with Arkansas. Hey, man, we can't get burned deep by Malik Nabers. Jayden Daniels is going off, but we still got to account for him running the football. This week, you could see a couple of probably quarterback draws that he runs that are wide open because they're anticipating him when they get Logan Diggs out in motion all the way to the far end of the boundary, that you got to spread out and Jayden Daniels hits you with that quick draw and he's off to the races. Still want him to get down, though. But that was the best game that LSU had played. Now, is Mississippi State really bad, or are they a bad team? I would say, yeah, I don't think that they're a good team. I mean, they go into overtime with Arkansas. LSU goes into Starkville at 11 a.m. and blows them out. But the question now becomes, how good is Florida State? How good is LSU? You're a quarter away. I don't know if you beat Florida State if you continue to score in that fourth quarter. You know, if Malik doesn't fall down, if Lacey doesn't drop that pass, if, you know, the ultimate controversy of, is that a catch with Brian Thomas or not? It should have been a catch. But I just think that LSU is also really good. Defensively, they had a really good game from start to finish. Weeks, he's going to have to be in there and rotate. You know, like Omar Speights, you could tell that he was playing through injury against Florida State, and I started making phone calls, you know, like after Grambling. And people were telling me, like, hey, man, he was actually, if we're being honest, probably shouldn't have played against Florida State. But do you throw Whit Weeks out there as a true freshman with Harold Perkins in the inside as well? Do you put in Greg Penn? Like, what do you do? Bottom line is this team had some things they had to iron out. They ironed them out, and they go into Starkville and kick somebody's ass. And Mississippi State is a team, that they do not have an offensive pulse. Give some confidence to your defense. You play Missouri in a couple weeks. You play Ole Miss next week at 5 p.m. in Oxford. They got weapons. Like, I know that your secondary wasn't really tested in this one. They're going to be tested a little this week. They have Arkansas has a white kid named Tesla. Yes, I'm not talking about the Elon Musk Tesla, but they have a white kid, Tesla, who is a really good possession receiver. They got some guys. But the next 3 weeks, you find out who you are. It's not Bama. It's not, when you go at the end of the year against Texas A&M. No, you got 1 home game and 2 on the road. Now, our buddy Carter Bryant has talked about this a lot. Teams in the last 20 years in the SEC, when you go back-to-back road games, usually you split them or go 0-2. The only teams in the last 20 years in the SEC that have gone on the road in back-to-back weeks and had wins was 2019 LSU and 2022 Georgia. Alabama and their dynasty when they had guys like A.J. McCarron, Greg McElroy in that early crew. Bryce Young, whoever you want to say, Bryce Young, in the first year or the year that Texas A&M beat Alabama, they're going on back-to-back road games. So you look at these kinds of things and say, these next 3 weeks, you're going to look at it. Who are we really? What is this team really made of? And if your quarterback and running game to some extent, if your wide receivers and Malik Nabers look the way that they do, guys, Malik Nabers already has the same amount of touchdowns right now as he did all of last year. That accounts for something. Now, Mississippi State was a better team last year when you faced them early in the year in week 3. They were. They had first-round guys that are making interceptions in the league, like Emmanuel Forbes. Emmanuel Forbes had a pick yesterday for the Commanders against Russell Wilson. You look at all these things, and you just say to yourself, man, this team's got a lot of potential. And Jayden Daniels is leading that charge. He's not going to hit all of those fade routes like he did on Saturday consistently. Some of them he's not going to hit. But if he's going to do what he did, if he's going to just actually let that beast rip, you're going to be a really tough team to beat, man. You're going to be a really tough team to beat. Against Mississippi State, there's a lot of things you can put on the front page and say that, well, this, and this happened, and that gives you the confidence going into this week against Arkansas and moving down the line. The perception right now nationally is LSU the best team in the SEC West? Can they actually knock off Georgia the way that Georgia looked against South Carolina this week? You can't worry about that. You have to go out there Saturday and win. You have to go out there Saturday and win. Arkansas is coming off a devastating loss. They are itching and clawing to get themselves back onto the field and show, like, hey, man, that was a dud game. We had guys that were hurt along the offensive line, are arguably our best weapon on offense. Rocket Sanders was out. He might be out again against LSU, but at least that's what Sam Pittman said today. But, man, we want to get back on the field and find out who we are. And if you're LSU, you can't take the foot off the gas. One thing's for certain. There have been, I'm just going to say a handful of times, there's probably been more, Arguably, definitely, there's been more. After the loss at Florida State, Brian Kelly got called a lot of things, man. It's the same Notre Dame guy not playing the best players. And, man, I heard one person comparing to, this is what Les Miles is doing. And I sit here to myself like, man, Les Miles would never make some of these adjustments that Brian Kelly made. I mean, like, what are we really talking about? Like, Brian Kelly's a good coach for a reason. He's not going to stand there and let his teeth get kicked in. He's just not going to do it. You had guys like Whit Weeks, Lance Hurd. I know he had the penalty and he gave up the sack because he's a freshman. But, man, these guys feel like they're coming into their own. Now, you got a lot of work you got to continue to do. If you're going to be a playoff team, look, just going to call it what it is. The SEC is down, and this is yours for the taking. You have enough talent to take it. You have enough talent to take it. Arkansas is a beat-up team. On the O-line, they're shuffling more along the offensive line than me trying to cut the deck at a casino, man. They are shuffling up front to find out what they have. Cody Kennedy, the O-line coach, there's a guy that I played with at Southeastern. A guy that, I was there the night that he rushed Teak and he got in. I'm not a fraternity guy. I just saw it because it was like a big ceremony. I'm just telling you, he's doing everything he can. He's putting on duct tape because four of his starting 5 offensive linemen are really banged up or not playing. You got to do you, man. You got to do you. You can't worry about them coming off of a loss to BYU. It doesn't matter. Champions go out there and take what's theirs. Like a tiger in the prey, man. A tiger in the wild. And I know this is really stupid. Blake is doing a dad analogy. Okay. I'm with you. But what you got to have that look in your eye, man. You got to have that fight. This team can legitimately go out there and take what's theirs. Go out there and take that mother sucker. Go out there and take it. Like, I know that we have issues that we got to work on. And hopefully those things are getting better now. But my goodness, what I've seen, Ole Miss struggling with Tulane, with a backup quarterback. Arkansas getting beat by BYU in the way that they looked. Texas A&M getting skull drug by Miami through the air. And if that Jayden Daniels shows up on that Saturday, they're in really big fucking trouble. It's yours for the taking, dude. It's yours. Oh, and by the way, the big, how did I leave this out? The biggest, exclamation point on this, Bama looks like hot garbage. Alabama's so nasty, producer Zach would date it. Just joking. Producer Zach only dates Christian women, and that's the God's honest truth. Gotta go and take it, man. Deshaun Womack looked good. He didn't get in the stat sheet, but man, he's blowing up left tackles. Can you go out there and make it happen? I thought Jayden Daniels. Now I did this QB comparison. You want to hear something nuts? I'll get to a couple comments in just a second about this. I did a QB comparison today. Where is it? Here it is. So here's a blind QB test. Blind comparison. QB1. Zach, see if you can guess. Now, one of them you're going to get because I'm comparing one of them to Jayden Daniels. QB1 is 55 of 70 on the year, 78%. 878 yards and 13 total touchdowns. The other quarterback 2, 70 for 95, 74 yards, 977, 10 total touchdowns. Now I'm going to bring up producer Zach. Producer Zach, who is quarterback 1 and who's quarterback 2?
I'm going to go Caleb Williams as quarterback 1 and Jayden Daniels as quarterback number 2.
That's why I hired him. He's arguably out-dueling the Heisman Trophy winner. Can he continue to play like that? If he can, then man, you are in for some. This is stuff we were seeing all offseason. Like what he did today, what he did Saturday, I promise to goodness, was everything that we were seeing in the preseason. When we were going to those scrimmages, when we were going to those practices, like, damn, God, dog, Jayden Daniels is going off today. That was what we saw. That is 1,000% what we saw. Can he be that? Now, we broke down a lot of Mississippi State. You can go check the post game from Saturday. But I think you faced a team that and a coach that kind of really doesn't know what he's doing. I don't think Zach Arnett has a clue. I really don't. You know, he's 3-0 as a head coach. He wins the bowl game. He beats my alma mater in Southeastern. He goes into overtime against Arizona, and they get the win. He's got an 11 a.m. home game against a top 15 opponent, and he pisses down his leg. He pissed down his leg. The things that they were doing offensively were garbage. And that falls on him. Going off on BR Media Wednesday in the SEC teleconference. Hey, man, you don't have to be humble in the slightest. Just kick my camera. You don't have to be humble in the slightest. But what you do have to do is if you're going to talk that shit like Saban used to, you got to back it up. And you notice Saban ain't talking shit right now. Saban ain't talking shit. Saban's been friendly with the media. Why? Because they're getting that ass kicked. That's why. Everybody out here saying, oh, the Saban that's laughing, that's the one that's going to kick everybody's ass. No, the Saban that was pissing everybody off and saying you're feeding my team rat poison, all you guys in the media freaking suck. If he would have gone out there this spring and done that, I'd been like, oh, shit. Like some of these national guys act like they have no idea, like they've never covered college football a day in their life. Anyway, all right. Couple more things on. Let's preview a little LSU. Let's preview a lot of LSU and Arkansas. So, no, Zach, I didn't send you this. I think I might have sent it to Joe. So we got the all 22 copy of the BYU and Arkansas game. Guys, listen. I don't think Arkansas is that good. Like do they have the potential to do some really dangerous things? Yes. If Rocket Sanders is back in the lineup, okay, listen, they can probably run the ball on you a little bit. But I listened to Sam Pittman today, and he didn't sound like that he felt good that Rocket Sanders was going to be there on Saturday. Now, it is a long time until Saturday. We're at Monday, and I understand that. Is he going to be, what happens in a weekish? We will see. But he sounded deflated today. Like his O-line's not playing well. His secondary has gotten a lot better. They forced a couple of turnovers this weekend against Brigham Young, and it didn't amount to anything because, quite honestly, KJ Jefferson, for a guy that doesn't turn the ball over a lot, he looked like he has not progressed in the slightest. Is he one of the best running quarterbacks and physically gifted human beings on the face of the planet? Yeah, because he's 6'3", 250 pounds, and will completely run you over like a tank. But him running you over like a tank really doesn't mean a whole lot when he's throwing the way that he's throwing. If you can get to him and get him down, I don't know if you don't go full Orgeron style in his ass this weekend and blitz him all night and beat you through the air. I know that your DB unit has had question marks, and maybe you're going to have to come out of that, right? Meaning maybe you're going to have to come out of blitzing him all night because he's picking you apart through the air. But there's no way in the first quarter that I am allowing KJ Jefferson to beat me with his feet. None. You know, teams can't come in there like what Mississippi State did this week against Jayden Daniels. They blitzed him all night. And what did he do? He picked them apart. He got the world's biggest toothpick and was picking them apart one by one. Beep, beep, beep. You want to play man-to-man coverage on me with Malik Nabers with a safety? Good luck, ho, because I'm going to throw that thing over the top. KJ's not that dude, man. He doesn't have the weapons on the outside. He's got an offensive line that's beat to hell. He doesn't even want he's not even seeking out the contact. Now, today was something that was interesting was Sam Pittman was asked about the health of KJ, and he said, yeah, man, he came in this game pretty banged up. I don't know how much I buy into that because I think that Sam Pittman is taking up for his quarterback who played like Dookie down the stretch. But I don't want to hear that Arkansas blew this game away and BYU didn't take it from them. Arkansas in the fourth quarter didn't have any heart. They had no balls. You have no marbles, Mr. Anderson. Pedro Serrano running around first base doing the I got balls impersonation. They had no balls. They played softer than Charmin. Toilet tissue paper is not softer. A baby's buttocks was not softer than their O-line in the fourth quarter. They got absolutely clapped. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Rivalry game, boot on the line. Arkansas always comes in here and plays good. You got to focus and execute what you need to execute on. That's it. You can feel good about Mississippi State. You should feel good about Mississippi State. Don't mean a goddamn thing. You look good. You performed well. You played a complete game. I'm with you. Go out there and blitz all night. Put KJ on his ass. Go after his ass. No pause. Because when BYU blitzed him, he didn't know what to do. He was a deer in headlights. We've seen this same KJ over and over again. Over and over again. Looking like Clifford Franklin when he doesn't have the special gel on his hands from the replacements. Hey, coach, it looks like I jacked off an elephant. Pause. Go out there and just be yourself. Like Aladdin, be yourself. Anyway, all right. It's true, man. It's true. Y'all know it's true. I didn't say this in the open. I was just thinking about this. Where's everybody listening to us from tonight? Zach, did I ask everybody where they were listening from us, listening to? Where are you guys listening to us from tonight? I'm sure you're at your house. I'm sure you just sitting there watching some more fun. Look at Luke. I'm watching from Facebook. I mean, like, where's your active location? Are you in the 985? Don't give me the area code. Give me the actual city, like 985. 225-504. Like this. Eunice, Bossier City, South Carolina, born and raised, take my shirt off, whip it all around like a helicopter. I think it was North Carolina. John Sibley, Butler, Franktown till we die in this thing. Beating Covington last week. All right. We can talk some more LSU. I do got to get to a break. Very, 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 very quick break. So let's do that. Let's talk about our good friend Tyler Alexander over at eXp Realty, our good friend. Oh my God. Ernie Drake over at the Drake Williams Law Firm. It's too late, Zach. It's 10 p.m. Past my bedtime. Let's talk about them. Don't go anywhere. We'll talk a little bit more LSU. I'll give you some updates. We'll talk about Brian Kelly. I'll get to some of your comments, and then we'll do the Saints post game, what we thought. Back next.
He will sell your house and find you a new. Well, Tyler's the man. He's here for you. If you want to buy or sell, well, it's not too late. Dial 955-0008. Just call 955-0008. Y'all call Tyler. He'll shoot you straight.
Tyler Alexander is a local by the Drake Williams Law Firm, drakewilliamslawfirm.com. Whether you've been injured in an accident, you're preparing for a future with your estate planning, you're getting ready to close in on a real estate deal, or you're about to welcome a new addition through adoption into your family, or you're facing criminal charges, you need very experienced attorneys, and that is what the Drake Williams Law Firm will be able to do for you in navigating the legal system. The door to their cozy office in historic downtown Ponchatoula has been open since 1981. They have helped thousands and thousands of Louisiana families and individuals win cases, close on real estate deals, and regain that peace of mind. Their lawyers over at the Drake Williams Law Firm, Ernie Drake III, Ryan J. Williams, and Summer Vicnair, are very determined, compassionate, and dedicated to their craft. It's the Drake Williams Law Firm, drakewilliamslawfirm.com. Give them a call today at 985-386-7600. Tell them your good friend Blake Ruffino at AYS sent you on by. It was not the blackjack table. It was the roulette table. And I have evidence, sir, that's my brother right there, that my brother, after the DeCorian Moore commitment that we did, we went to the steakhouse, the Bozer Shreveport Casino, I forget what it's called, and we go in there. They got a bit nice ass steakhouse, and my brother and I go in there, and he treats me to some a steak dinner. Had escargot in that thing, and when I had escargot, I had me a nice ribeye steak. And my brother's like, hey, man, I just paid for dinner. I'm about to go win it on the roulette table. And my man walked in there and kicked their ass. They shut the table down. It was the biggest. It was the best Big Brother moment that you could have ever imagined. Right? Like, my brother's about 9 years older than I am. You know, always kind of takes me underneath his wing. And my man legitimately paid for us to have a nice steak dinner. We walk in, roulette table, bang. For about 2 hour and a half, 2 hours, my man messed them up. He put down a $20 bill and walked out there with, I think, probably 1,300 stacks. Yeah, bro. $1,000 chips. I'm not joking, dude. Wasn't me. Hell no. Hell no. Let's just let me just say this. Now there's three things. Now, starting I think November-ish, we got some things at work. We're going to be doing some food content, not on this channel, but it kind of will be on this. Long story short, we're going to do a YouTube channel where we're going around doing some stuff. Now that we got some things opening up. If you go to a steakhouse and you order a filet mignon, Zach, if there's nothing that you ever listen to, people that go into a steakhouse and order filet mignon, either number one, don't want to spend the money to get a ribeye, or number two, are just grossly misunderstanding what a good steak is. The best steak that you will ever have is some form of ribeye. It's not up for debate. Texas Day Brazil, no. Producer Zach, I'm gonna have to come. You're gonna have to come down here and take a visit with your boy. I'll pay for it. You know, we'll do this as a business expense. Best business expenses I can have. Supper Club's got a good one. They probably had the best. Keith Young's in Covington's got a good one. I tell you what, man, Buddy's in Hammond. Don't go in there on like a packed night. Like, don't go in there on Valentine's Day like me and my wife did. Going on like a random Thursday. They gonna hook your ass up. Longhorn Steakhouse? Hell no. Go to a steakhouse. Women eat fillets. Men eat ribeyes. I'll probably get canceled off that comment. How crazy is it that I say something like that and you could get canceled for it? What do I know? Ruth Chris is too much of a chain, man. This man said Longhorn Steakhouse. Hell no. Doze, I think Doze, David. Yeah, Doze is a good one. Kind of fell off a little bit. I'm telling you, man, Buddies in Hammond. Listen, any of y'all want to go treat your boy to a steak dinner? I am down. I'll pay for our drinks. You pay for the steak. Texas Roadhouse, hell no. They're not bad, but we're talking about a steakhouse. I know I did not just see what I just saw. Zach, I know I did not just see what. Cody, No, sir. Hell no. Hell no. Nope. Get your ass to Buddies. Hell no. This man said Santa Fe. Nope. No sirree. Get your ass up out of here. So yeah, we're gonna be doing I'm gonna be behind the scenes on that one, but yeah, I like the no. Sully's in Hattiesburg. I heard some good things about Sully's in Hattiesburg. I need to go there. All right. Couple more things. Somebody asked, Zach, can you pull this up for me? I don't remember where it was. About Greg Brooks. Oh, here it is. Trip Block says, any update on Greg Brooks? Thank you so much, Trip, for the super chat. So yeah. I expect Greg Brooks to be out for a hot minute if he's not done for the year. Look, man, they're keeping something quiet. I said on Saturday, it's not my place. Like, I am assuming some people that want to, like their job or they want to break news, they'll do it. I'm not doing it. At least from what I'm hearing, you know, I'm not doing it. And I wish him a speedy recovery. I wish him a speedy recovery. All right. Couple more things here. BK met with the media today, and there were some things that I did take away from Brian Kelly's press conference. Number one, it kind of felt like a calm down session. Like, guys, come on. Like, we played a below average team. Y'all were freaking out. We didn't play good in the fourth quarter. We got some really talented dudes. Like, I know what. Like, man, look, we've been in the top 5 in back-to-back classes in the portal. We just got so many young guys, and we got to figure things out. Now, Brian Kelly said that at SEC Media Days, man. He came out and said, look, man, I really just don't know what I have. You know, I don't know what I have yet. I know what I pretty much have offensively, and I think that showed this week and last week against Grambling. Maybe, and not maybe, but actually against Florida State, it didn't show it. You're playing better teams now. It's going to have to. It's going to have to. I do think that if you get Florida State again, that's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I know you're 0-2 against them. I know they want to talk shit because their fan base is, out of control. They're good for the first time in like 72 years. Yeah. Greg Brooks, I don't know. One thing I do like is Mason Taylor. Looks like he will be back. Omar Speights looks like he will be back this week. All hands on deck, man. And you know what? I say this maybe once a month. Shout out to Jake Flint and his coaching and that training staff, dude. Like, remember how many injuries we had under Orgeron week in, week out? And you're going to get some. I mean, like Greg Brooks is out. J.K. Johnson is out. Okay. All right. Like that. Oh, all right. But, man, they've just really done such a good job. Such a good job at, like, yeah, you got some guys out banged up, but it just feels like look at Georgia right now, guys. They're throwing in an H back at running back and trying to run the football. So yeah, let me do a quick. Give me 5 minutes. We'll get back to some LSU talk. Let me do a quick Saints post game so I don't make myself a liar here. Look, man, it wasn't pretty offensively. It wasn't pretty offensively. I'm not out on this Derek Carr thing. He's not played great the last 2 weeks. The second half, I thought he played a lot cleaner and smoother. Chris Olave looked really good. Felt like they were trying to force feed Michael Thomas in the first half, which I don't really mind. But just off rhythm, off timing. Second half, you look like you found something. And this defense is for real. Like, one thing that we cannot say about Dennis Allen, this defense is for real. They got guys all across, dude, Carl Granderson with 2 sacks. One of them, well, really actually one. He should have had a second one on the other strip sack that he had. They got called back because of, I think, arguably, if I'm not mistaken, you could just look this up. I think the only penalty on the night was Alontae Taylor's 5-yard holding call. Granderson, Brissett looks really good. Cam Jordan getting pressure, got a massive run stuff on a third down. Panthers punted. That's back-to-back weeks, man. You're facing 2 teams in the NFL, regardless of who they are. They've looked really good. Offensively, you gotta figure it out. The first thing that you can do is fire Pete Carmichael. But if you're going to put Derek Carr as your quarterback, then, I mean, you might be a little limited. And Derek Carr's never had a defense this good. Never. Like, he would be 0-2 with the Raiders. Chris Olave had a coming out party. Tony Jones, Taysom Hill. I think the O-line's still really questionable. But Tony Jones, man, got you tough, gritty yards at the end of the game, squaring up his shoulders, running right at the safety, like, move, bitch, get out the way. I mean, during the game, Tony Jones Jr. wasn't his name anymore. People in the stands started calling him ludicrous because he was saying, move, bitch, get out the way. Tough, gritty yards by Tony Jones Jr. And you like to see it. 2-0 in the NFL, man. 2-0 in the NFL. It feels good. Feels good. And you know what, man? A lot of people poo-pooed on Baker Mayfield. That's back-to-back weeks, man. Got another week of suspension from Alvin Kamara. You get him back. God, do you need Alvin Kamara to come back? So, 2-0 is never easy. Never, ever, ever easy. Can this defense hold on until Derek Carr and this offense starts finding a rhythm? I thought they found one in the second half. Just throw the ball in number 12's general direction. Okay? Throw it in his general direction. That dude's good, man. That dude's really freaking good. Shaheed, got to get him some more looks. We'll see. Back to this LSU talk, we'll get to some of these comments. Let's get to some of these comments. Blaise LeBlanc said, Carr doesn't need to be great. This defense is solid to score one more than the defense gives up. I can agree with that. Jason says we don't use Hill enough. Well, I mean, especially tonight. I mean, guys, you remember that 3rd and 2 call that he missed? And look, Olave had the stupid catch in the second half. The one-hand tap up, getting back. Garrett Wilson had something like that. His counterpart, anything you can do, I can do better, like the Michael Jordan commercial with Mia Hamm. I mean, look, this defense, speaking of Mia Hamm and kicking it in soccer, this defense has been knocking dudes around and kicking dudes around. You could be like Mia Hamm or like her husband, call me Nomar Garcia-Parra type defense. See, now guys like Zach, young bucks like Zach won't understand that reference. Zach, there was a commercial with Michael Jordan and Mia Hamm. Wasn't it Mia Hamm, guys, who wound up marrying Boston shortstop Nomar Garcia-Parra? And so you're kicking it like you're Nomar Garcia-Parra. See, you get the reference there. And she was in the commercial with Michael Jordan. Anything you can do, I can do better. God, it feels so wild being able to teach a young buck some things for change. I feel like all the old heads were teaching me things. There you go, Zach. Don't say I never taught you anything. Women kicking it with me like I'm a Nomar Garcia-Parra. Stephen Fry, our good friends over at Fry Construction. Site work and land development, oil and gas services, commercial construction, aggregate and soil hauling, waste containers, demolition. They do it all there at 161 West Maple Street in Eunice, Louisiana, 337-457-5100. Says Kamara going to be fantastic for Carr out of the backfield. I agree. We need him back, man. We need him back in a bad way. Let me get back to this Brian Kelly thing before we get out of here. Look, Caleb Jackson, he was asked about Caleb Jackson in a really long, dumb question, but guys, Logan Diggs. So I went back and counted the number of pancakes, and I'm not being like super specific of guys that I see getting pancakes. I counted 7 for in the Mississippi State game, 7. Logan Diggs had 3 of them. Pass pro. You can't teach the pass pro stuff that Logan Diggs did, man. You cannot teach it. Giving Jayden a clean pocket. Watson, an first team all SEC linebacker, came on 2 blitzes, and Logan Diggs met him in the hole and said, Luda, move, Biot, get out the way. Get off the tracks because the train is coming through. Look, Mississippi State's got dudes. Are they a bad offensive team? Yep. Defensively, bro, they got dudes. They got 2 linebackers and a defensive end that's going to play in the league. They got a safety that's going to play in the league. Okay, they're not a bad defense. And you whipped that ass. So, in reference to Caleb Jackson, do I think he's RB2? I think you got to start giving him more touches. Look, we talked about him so much in the offseason. I said he had the most upside in this room. I'd not given Logan Diggs his credit, but he does, man. Like that run along the sidelines is, I know everybody knows it's the Leonard Fournette type of run, but he had the stiff arm in that hole, woo, Reggie Bush style, to get out to the outside. Footwork was elite. You got to get him some more touches, man. Like if it's 1st and 10, 2nd, 3rd, 4th drive, give him a carry. Give him a carry or 2. Like, I get what you're doing. You're putting in Josh Williams and Logan Diggs in passing situations. I'm with you. I'm with you. Like, I don't think Brian Kelly's wrong there. Win, lose, or draw, Brian Kelly's not wrong there. Let Logan Diggs, who's a perfect type of back and mentor for a guy like Caleb Jackson. But I think they found RB2. Look, Brian Kelly was asked about Savion Jones today as well. Guys really played well the last 2 weeks. I thought he didn't. I don't think he played bad against Florida State. Didn't get a sack, but nobody did. He's played really well the last 3 weeks, or really last 2 weeks. He gets his first sack. Can he continue to build off of that? He beat Ali Gay a year ago in sacks, and if he can continue to start working on some of these numbers, getting some more of these critical sacks. Now, look, KJ's a guy that can move, but even though KJ's a guy that can move, he's like a mobile guy that he's not fast enough that you can't get to him. The question is can you bring the damn mammoth down? I mean, that dude, that's like KJ Jefferson sometimes is big and as strong as he is. It's like bringing down a damn walrus. It's like if you're if you're a lion in the wild and you got you and your gang trying to run up on like a hippo. Like that dude's like a big ass hippo out there, man. There's a reason why lions don't hunt in packs. There's a reason why lions hunt in packs. Takes 5 of them to bring that big ass hippo down. I mean, so Savion Jones is definitely a guy that doesn't need any assistance. Brian Kelly also mentioned he was asked about basically recruiting and playing some of the young guys. Guys, he played who he thought was the best dudes. Like, I just cannot emphasize enough. I cannot emphasize enough how this dude's just going to make the right move. And it sucks. You lose to Florida State. Like, I get it. But this season's so goddamn long. I mean, let's look into week 3. When I look into week 3 of college football, and I recap it and review it, and I see a team like Alabama struggling against South Florida, like, is Jalen Milroe suspended? I'm serious. That's probably never going to come out. Nobody's going to talk about it. It's not going to get reported on. My good buddy Josh Pate would say. Man, they're not that good. They can't score. And then you got Texas in the first week and the third week. They go up against Rice. They get their cheeks clapped. Or not really, but they don't play up to their par. And then they go out there against Wyoming, and it takes Quinn Ewers to go off in the fourth quarter. They're not dominating anybody. And he didn't even really dominate in the fourth quarter. He threw a little screen, little out route. His guys taking it to the house. I mean, he got lucky on some of those. Alabama's not good. And I don't think Texas is.
We're back.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Oh, Blake, they beat a bad Alabama team. And they accomplished something by going into a place like Alabama and getting a win that they historically wouldn't get. I'm with you. They accomplished something. But accomplish what? Because when you peel back the layers of that onion, Alabama's not a good football team right now. They're not. I can make the argument that LSU, Ole Miss, Texas A&M, I would have said Arkansas if they would have held on and beat BYU. I can make an argument for 4 teams in the West taking down Bama. Nick Saban this, Nick Saban that. Nick Saban ain't got an answer. He ain't got an answer. He's on the side of the highway starring 911 to get road assistance because they're on this journey and road and they don't know what they need to do at quarterback. They don't know. Stupid idiots They don't know. So we'll see. All right. Getting late. Good to be back to get to a normal rotation tomorrow. That's for sure. All right. Week 3. What else happened in week 3? Oh, Colorado State. Yeah. Travis Hunter's out. Sucks. What else happened in week 3? Oh, Georgia. Yeah, they came back. Yeah. Tennessee. Rut-row. Can't be getting beat by Florida like that, dude. And Billy Napier, bro. Hold on. This goes unnoticed. Do y'all know that Florida had 26 points in the first half and only got 3 in the second half? Billy played conservative. Can't do that. Even when he's winning, he's making bad decisions. See y'all tomorrow, guys. Peace.